you will develop useful strategies on how to develop positive relationships and interactions with parents and caregivers with professional manners. Setting up your computer and phones correctly are important because you have already been listening to my talking for over 40 minutes. So please make sure you feel comfortable and move around if you need it. You can also have in some water. That's how we feel like working with children. We're feeling like juggling with many different balls at the same time. We need to develop relationships with children. We need to make sure children are safe. The environment is safe for them to play. We need to make sure it's clean. We need to meet individual needs. We often communicate with many different people, including other educators, parents, community, and the management. We develop learning programs that support their needs and learning interests. We following different routines. But there's one thing that we often forget will actually help to make everything come together easier and help the day run smoother, which is developing a positive relationships with children. With the children's parents and caregivers. Why? Let's have a look what the early years learning framework have told us. Again, the early years learning framework is the important learning framework from Australia at Early Education and Care. Here I have chosen the relevant section to show you. Educators' practice and the relationships they form with children and family has a significant effect on children's involvement and success in their learning. Children thrive when families and educators work together in partnerships to support young children's learning. Educators recognize that families are children's first and most influential teachers. They create a welcoming environment, just like what we have discussed. The environment is clean, full with open-ended resources. The educators are friendly. They're willing to care for the children. They're willing to develop the positive relationships with them. Where all children and families are respected and actively encouraged to collaborate with the educators about curriculum decisions and in order to ensure the learning experiences are meaningful. We often ask parents for feedback. We tell the parents what their children have done for the day, have achieved for the day, or maybe even have tried for the day. And we're seeking for their feedbacks there. Partnerships are based on the foundations of understanding each other's expectations and attitudes, and build on strength of each other's knowledge. That means making effective communication and then positive interaction with children is very important. That way, everyone will feel comfortable and willing to exchange the information about the children and how they have learned. Now let's have a little think. Think as a parent. What would you like to see from your child or children's educator? Anybody would like to have a try? Feel free to turn on your video if you want to have a try to answer this little question. I'm going to share you some of my idea and feel free to jump in as well. Some of the ideas that I had previously with different parents are they want to see the educators smile. They want to have them saying hello to them or bye-bye to them. Could be as simple as this. They want to see the educator helping different children, so no child is standing there near the door crying, and educators just decide to ignore the child. They want to see the educator be supportive and care, ensuring care and respect. Because it's so important. Why is so important? Because it has strong benefits to children. Family and educators can share and discuss about how children are going and how they meet their needs. But through having a positive relationship, parents and educators can discuss the progress of learning, of children's learning. For example, they might have tried self-feeding for lunchtime. Then the parents could continue to promote this practice at home. Or maybe they have already tried to self-feed at home for dinner. And they may want their children to try again today at kindy. And for toddlers, they might start walking all of a sudden, and educators want to share that with the parents. Families know their children's strength, personality, mood, and behaviors. Very often when a new child comes into the center, I like to ask the parents, what's your child's favorite thing to do? And the parents will start to tell me a lot of information about that child. She likes drawing, she likes music and dancing. But she could be a little bit shy, so she needs more time to look around and to warm up. She is very helpful. She likes to help packing up. So that little information there gives me a lot of that little information from parents actually give me a lot of information about that child. It helps me to develop understanding of that child and how I could help her to develop a stronger sense of belonging and secure in the center. Educators get to know a child well through their daily experiences and can share their understanding of how children develop. Again, if parents and educator have developed a very strong relationship, they will be feeling happy, confident to share what the children's developmental stage are at for the day. The child might have never built a sandcastle before, but today he's tried to build a sandcastle with his friends. When families and educators working together, they can exchange information and can focus on meeting each child's needs and supporting their development. Benefits to families and caregivers. So having a stronger relationships between families and caregivers are not only beneficial to children, it's beneficial to families and caregivers as well. When parents are feeling confident and have strong sense of confidence about the educator and the environment, they'll feel comfortable and confident to leave their children in the service. They're not going to walk away and worrying about what's going to happen about their children, because they know someone, the educator there, is willing to care for their children. Knowing their children's needs and interests and value are supported by the educator. Feeling confident and comfortable to communicate with educators regarding to their learning and development. Things they have observed at home, for example. Again, just like what I have mentioned, educators will like to share the information to parents what their children have achieved, tried for the day. Parents might want to share some of the things that they have observed at home that might have a really big impact, or things that have happened at home that will have big impact on the children's emotion, learning, and development as well. For example, like maybe daddy is leaving to work early, so the child didn't get to say good morning or say bye-bye to daddy in the morning. That could be a really big thing for a little child. Or maybe the child didn't have a really good sleep the night. So that tells us as an educator that the child could be a little bit tired. After have exchanged all this information, families and caregivers will feel comfortable and confident that the educators are informed with all this information to be able to provide the best care to their child or children. So we have discussed quite a lot there already. Now we're going to have a look at some of the strategies, how you could show parents that you care, and how you could develop positive relationships and interactions with parents and caregivers. Strategy 1, show them you care. We want to greeting them each morning during each drop-off and pick-up. We want to make sure we say hello and smile to them. The worst thing ever could happen will be a parent walking into the center and no one have acknowledged and then walked away. That doesn't show you care. We want to acknowledge the anxiety. So separation anxiety doesn't only happen to the children, it happens to the parents as well, like we have discussed. They might feel unsure, they might feel worried. Be available for them in different situations. Like we have mentioned already, during drop-off, they might want to tell you some information about their children. During pickup, they might want to know how their children have spent, how their children's day was. During the day, when they have any concerns. So we want to try our best to be available for the parents. We offer opportunities for phone conversations because we may not always have time to talk to the parents. That's when we offer the parents, I can give you a call when children are having resting time to discuss with you about your concern, or would you like to call me later when you have a break? I can organize someone to come in to cover me so I can have a better conversation with you. we want to ask questions about the children. It could be as simple as, how are you this morning? Do you have any message you would like me to pass on? Because when you're greeting the children might not feel from your room. Like me, I work at kindergarten room most of the time. Am I greeting a baby in the morning? I can walk away and just think, oh, that little baby is not from my room. I still want to walk over, give the baby a big hug, and asking parents, do you have any message you want me to pass on to her teacher? So parents know who to talk to, and I will make sure the message passed on to. Even if they don't have any message, but it still shows them that you care. Talking to the parents during orientation. As an educator, you want to ask them, what's your child's favorite thing to do at home? What's your child's favorite toy? And the parent will start to tell you a lot more about the child, which give you a very good first picture and first understanding of how you could support the child. Reading the information from the enrollment forms and displays, that including medical action forms, individual requirement and health requirements. Very often, families will try to provide as much information as possible in the enrollment forms. And if they have any medical requirement, centers will have displays. Many rooms will have individual requirement forms ready for the parents to complete. And we want to make sure we listen to any requirements and needs for the day. That could be, she needs one of the medication. She might need extra moisturizer cream because it's really windy and she gets windburns. So all these little things, we want to be there. We want to make sure we listen to them, listen to their needs and requirements to show parents we care. Ensure to complete daily routine checklist. That's actually very important because many children, when they come in, after said hello, how are you today to you, the next thing they walk to is the daily routine checklist. It write down everything about the child, how much they ate, how much they slept, and any other information. So please make sure you complete that. Here is an example of anaphylaxis display. This is just an empty example. We often see them displayed where all the educators could see if a child has any anaphylaxis reaction. We often have, for a real world one, we often have children's most recent photo there, children's name, date of birth, and what they are allergic to. Maybe peanuts, maybe eggs. So it's very important we read there. And all the other emergency contact information there. Also how you administer EpiPen. That's a process there. And signs and symptoms to look for. These action plans get update every 3 to 6 months. Depends on the how serious the allergy is. It's displayed very clearly where, maybe in the staff room, maybe in the prep area of each room. So it's very important for educators to get familiar with this. Here is an individual requirement form that I made up. For younger age, many rooms will have this individual requirement forms. It provides very detailed information about the individual requirement of a certain child. For example, here, Oliver. Her date of birth was 1st of January 2020. Which room is he coming from? Toddler. So if this phone ever get blown away by the wind, which is unlikely to happen, it could be returned. It can be returned to the toddler. So it has a lot of information down the side. How child prefer to drink. The parents will tell the educator, drink bottles and milk bottles. How child prefer to eat. The child prefers self-feeding with some support. So that says he might not feeling very confident with using the spoons yet. So that we might give him a little support there. Any allergies, restrictions, and requirements? No eggs, no nuts. See his medical action form. It will look like one of this. And also no beef, no pork. So we know when we have any food involve beef, we make sure we check or pork. We check with kitchen to make sure there's alternative meal for Oliver. Sleeping habits. He likes to sleep with his buddy. I was trying to type bunny here. Sorry. And dummy. He will any additional requirement. He will have 200 ml of milk formula made with warm water by following the instruction on the package. So that we know it's 200 ml of the milk. We will be offering him warm water as well, and we follow the instruction from the package. So this is type of information that we want to make sure we look and get familiar with to show parents that we care and we are ready to support the children in order to develop a positive relationship. And that's what I have just mentioned about daily routine record. Again, I have made this example up based on real life examples. Daily routine record forms. It has room. Which room is it from? Date. Name of the educator. So down the side, you have got list of the names of children, how much they ate for the morning tea, all, A for all, S for some, and L for little. So that shows how much the child have ate for the morning and again for lunch. We could see James was quite hungry today and Ella didn't eat much of morning tea, so she ate more lunch today. Afternoon tea, you could see how much they ate. Resting period, some children had quiet activity and some children had little nap there. So like Linda, she had 1 hour sleep and that's the time she wake up. Have they been taking any water or milk? Yes, they all had some water or milk. Other notes, that's the part that I found very useful most of the time, because when parents come in to have a look the daily information about their child, they see this. Please see educator to collect your medication. Maybe Oliver had a little cream that day that was stored safely away. So the parent need to see the educator to get it, because we sometimes we don't get to see the parents, and we want the parents to come and see us. If we need to, we have some information that we want to share with them. And here, please see educators who sign the excursion form. So Emma is going on the excursion, but she needs her excursion form to be signed. So when parents see that, they're not going to walk out from the center. They're going to look for maybe Miss Peggy to get the form signed. So Emma is ready to go on the excursion next day. Strategy 2. Understanding the different parenting style. It is important for educators to understand there are many different parenting styles. The different parenting style will have influence influence children in many different ways, such as their personalities, their capabilities, or the emotional attachments. For families that often like to hug their children when they come into care, they may want to build up with stronger attachment with one educator first, and always ask for hugs from that educator, because that's how the child will develop sense of belonging. We might have children with different capability. For some family, if they like to take their children to park, the child might often engage with the facilities in the park and engage with a lot of obstacle course. And for the families that like to keep the children inside, the child might not show much capability as the child going to the park. We need to make sure we as educators need to make sure we provide different strategies and approach to support the different families without judging and making assumptions. We need to make sure we don't judge them. We don't say to the parent, you should take Johnny to park often. His lack of capability to go over the obstacle courses. We don't assume or make the assumption that just because little Johnny is a toddler or is a junior kindy, so he must know how to use simple sentences. We as educator, we want to use different approach to support them. Strategy 3. We like to communicate with positive and professional manners, just because just like what we have said, there are many different parenting styles. So each parents will prefer different ways of communication. But how can we make sure we meet others' needs? We make sure we communicate with positive and professional manners. So how can we do that? We starting positive. So each child has something positive. So we can approach the parents. Little Johnny have tried painting with different brushes today. Things the child are learning. He's tried to write letter A. So things he have accomplished. He's feeling very excited about that. We're going to be doing more water painting tomorrow. So things that he's feeling very excited about. And then we might tell the parents something else have happened that's not so great. Often the conversation will just end with the positive thing. Having some suggestions and topics that they can talk to their children about. Sometimes we call them car talk topics. Maybe we could tell the parents, we have had a visitor today. We made Play-Doh today. Jason made some dinosaur today. So little topics that parents could use to talk to their children for the day. Also, don't just tell them, I don't know. I can't address enough how bad this is and how unprofessional this manners is. Of course, we are going to have things that we unsure as educators, but we don't say that to parents. Instead of that, we say, I am not quite sure, but I'm going to find out this I'm going to be talking to Miss Jenny to have a look what actually happened. I will be talking to the center manager and I will get back to you about that. And we need to remember to smile at the child while we are talking to the parent, because the child knows we are talking about them. They want to know what's happening. They want to know they are being appreciated. We are happy about them. We sometimes even need to organize translator, because for some families that coming from the ESL family, if we want to make sure the communication goes well, we want to make sure translators are there to help. Communicating when there is a concern, such as illness and incidents. Concerns that might happen at early education and care environment might include incidents, illness, behavior issues, and even lost property. It could be a missing hat or lid. So like what I have said, things are not going to always be rainbows and sunshines. There are issues. So how can we communicate that? When there's an incident or illness, we remember to attend to the child's needs first, notify the nearest educator, and report to the management straight away. After the child was well looked after, we want to complete the illness record form or instant form. And we make the phone call to the parent to let them know little Johnny might have bumped his knee, or might be Jason had little temperature there, so parents need to come and pick Jason up ASAP. So there's a process to explain to the parents when there's illness and incident. What have happened? Your current action, because by that time parents will be very worried, so they want to know what you are doing to help Jason or Johnny. How you will keep monitoring or taking care of the child. So as they might stay in the center if just bump the knees. But if the child's having temperature, the parents will need to come and collect the child, especially during the COVID outbreaks. And they want to know what you are doing to look after them. And we want to tell them what they could help. Maybe come quickly, or maybe calling grandparents to come and pick them up. Here is an example of communicating about illness. This is actually what have happened to me as a mom. What happened? The teacher called me one day I have noticed Jacob did not want to participate in the activity today. When I asked him, he said he is tired. Then I said to the educator, the teacher, he didn't have a good sleep last night. He slept really late and he woke up really early this morning. Maybe he is tired. Then the educator said to me, okay, the current action, I will make his bed. I will make his bed now and keep a close eye on him to see if he is feeling unwell. So we're not sure what was going on there. How you will monitor or follow up, the educator then said to me. I will keep observing him and call you if anything has changed. What a parent could do to help, you can also call me to check on him. And what happened later? Yes, Jacob was unwell. So the educator go through the same process again to let me know what happened to Jacob, and for that I need to go and pick Jacob up. Communicating when there is a concern on behaviors. We again starting with positive. Maybe we say to the person, Johnny have help packing up today. He was happy to drink his water. He shared toy or space with other children. Then we raise our concern. Today I have noticed blah blah blah. And we ask parents for any ideas or suggestions. Maybe today Johnny helped pack up today. He was really happy about that. I have also noticed Johnny wants to keep all the toys for himself. Have you noticed that before? And the parents might start to tell you things that happen at home. Maybe they will say, oh, he's the only child. That's fine. So we might, over here, we will provide some suggestions. We might say to the parents, that's why he might not used to with sharing with other people. That's a great opportunity when he is here at the kindy. We could teach him how to share and how to ask for a turn. You could do this at home as well. You could demonstrate how Johnny, did I say that name? Ask for a turn. So that way, parents know Johnny didn't want to share stuff, but we were there very positive and offered suggestions and strategies. We didn't judge as an educator. So case study 1. An educator observed a 4-year-old boy who did not like to doing things for himself and showed stubbornness when he was told to do things. She commented to Mommy, he is lazy and stubborn. Discussion question. What did you like or dislike about the strategy the educator used? What would you do differently to improve the professional communication? Again, I didn't like the educator used. He is lazy and stubborn. He was judging the child there. Instead, the educator could go through the process I have mentioned on the previous slide to discuss strategies with the parents. Case study 2. An educator observed 3-year-old child often not participating in planned learning experience. The educator then said to the parent, you need to go home and talk to your children. They need to join the planned experience. What were they doing instead? Parents asked. They were just playing in the sandpit or rolling around the book area. Educator replied. Discussion question. What did you like or dislike about the strategy that educator used? What would you do differently to develop a positive relationship? I didn't like the educator come and just tell the parents that they need to go home and tell their children. Instead, as an educator, I will talk to parents differently. I have noticed Jason and Jacob likes playing the sandpit today. They spend most of the time. They didn't want to come there, but unfortunately, they have missed the planned experience we have offered, which was letter draw or writing. Then we might continue saying, I wonder what was his favorite interest and favorite thing to do at home. Maybe we could change the activity a little bit. Maybe we could offer something else to meet his interest that will invite him back. And the parents will start to give you some ideas of them. Strategy 3. Respecting the family's value and culture. Learning some simple languages. It could be simple as hello, how you say hello in French, Spanish, how you say thank you in Japanese, Korean, or that. Or if you have ESL children, you want to learn some simple languages that you could talk to them, like how you say eat, how you say try, how you say going to the toilet, all that simple stuff in their home language. It will make a huge difference. Learning about their cultures and values. So some cultures, they don't like to leave their children on the ground. So we might make sure their children stays on the mat. It allows children and families to make a stronger connection between home and early childhood setting. It helps parents to create a better understanding about the purpose of a routine and learning program. Because we have to respect their culture and value, so again they are feeling confident and comfortable to talk to us, to discuss their ideas more with us educators. Here are some ideas for inviting family inputs. Having opportunities for show and tell. It's great. It's a great idea for preschoolers because they have got things from home and they're sharing with their friends at kindy. Celebrating different festivals like Mother's Day, Father's Day, and Chinese New Year. When there was no COVID outbreak, many centers offer Mother's Day morning tea and Father's Day afternoon tea. Mummies and daddies get to spend lovely time with educators and also children together. Different cultural cooking books or cooking experiences. So we might inviting mummies or grandmoms or daddies, granddads to come in and show us how they cook particular culture food, or even just read a storybook from their culture. We might offer them the center cooking book recipe that parents can try at home. Providing opportunities for feedbacks. Centers might have feedback forms, and we might ask them for suggestions. Here's just a little some photo of me sharing some of the Chinese New Year stuff to my children's kindergarten. I feel very valued and I feel connected with the center and the center culture as a parent. Case study question. A parent was looking for a missing drink bottle. Educator 1, Educator A. I don't know. I'm not in his room. I'm not his room teacher. Educator B then came over. Oh, I remembered he was drinking his water. Drinking his water this afternoon. It must be somewhere on the playground. I will go and have a look for you. Again, Educator B was not his room teacher, but the Educator B offered the effort to go and have a look. Returned. I'm sorry, I cannot find it right now. What does his drink bottle look like? Does it have his name on it? I will have another look for you and let you know about that. So here's some question. Please feel free to email your answer back. What would you do in this situation? What else could the educator do better to improve the positive communication? What could the educator do to develop a positive relationships with parents? Summaries for section 2. We have discussed the importance of developing positive relationships with parents and caregivers as early childhood educators. Ways to show parents that you care and ready to help. How to communicate with parents when there is a concern. Strategies to connect with families and caregivers. Please email me your favorite part of this training section, or what you like or dislike about this training section. Please complete the email. Complete and email the feedback form back to me. And I have truly enjoyed sharing my experience and knowledge about how, as an educator, we could develop a positive relationships with parents with you. And that's a referencing list there. Thank you very much for all your participations. I'm going to stop the sharing right now. Okay. Please also email me if you have any questions or have anything that you would like to discuss with me. Okay. All right. Have a great night, everyone. Bye-bye now. Thank you for attending again. Bye, Kaden. Oh, bye, Kaden. Thank you so much. Bye, Jen. Thank you so much for participating.
Bye.
Bye, Kevin. Thank you for listening.
Peggy.
Thank you, everyone. And I could see Penny was just pop up. Bye, Penny. And I could see Aurora before. Bye, Aurora. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks for listening. Bye, everyone.
Recording stopped.